Hey, it's Jen from backpackies.com, and in this video, I'm going to do a North Face Recon versus Borealis backpack comparison. I'm going to explore each nook and cranny to see what the real differences are, because when shopping for a North Face backpack, I know that these two models are really popular. So I want to answer the question, what's the difference? Before I begin, I just want to say that I do have the women's versions of the Recon and Borealis in front of me. But trust me when I say that the differences between the men's and the women's versions are minimal. The main difference is in the size of the shoulder straps and back panels. On the men's version, you will have wider shoulder straps to accommodate broader shoulders. In the case of the North Face Borealis, the men's version is also larger by 1 liter. Other than that, both the men's and women's versions have the exact same pockets and compartments. I just wanted to point that out because this comparison will still be very informative even if you are shopping for the men's version. With that said, let's get into some quick specs so we can see how the Recon and Borealis differ on paper. On the official North Face website, the Recon and Borealis state measurements that are a bit misleading. It makes it seem like the Borealis is larger when it comes to dimensions. When actually measured, however, the Recon is the larger backpack of the two, coming in at around 21 inches in height with a 15-inch overall width. The main compartment itself has a depth of about 8 inches, with an overall depth being closer to 9 inches. The Borealis also measures differently, with an overall height of around 19.5 inches, with a 14.5-inch width. The main compartment inside the Borealis is actually only 7 inches deep, with the overall outer depth being closer to 8 inches. If we go by the actual measurements, the Borealis is the slightly smaller backpack, both in volume and dimensions. The Borealis also has a smaller carrying capacity at 27 liters for the women's version and 28 liters for the men's version. So it's worth noting that the men's Borealis will have slightly larger internal main compartment dimensions when compared to the women's version. The Recon, on the other hand, has a carrying capacity of 30 liters, making it the larger backpack by 2 to 3 liters. So what does that even mean? Because a 3-liter difference really isn't all that much. Here is a 1-liter bottle of water for visual reference. The extra space in the North Face Recon can be found in the height and depth of the main compartment when compared to the North Face Borealis. The Recon is really not that much bigger, but it can make the difference if you're the type of person to pack your backpack to its max and need the extra room. When it comes to materials, I found that both backpacks use the exact same fabrics. The fabrics can change depending on what color you choose, but both the Recon and Borealis use 600 denier polyester, 500 denier nylon, Cordura nylon ripstop, and a few other materials. So it's pretty safe to say that both backpacks are the same in quality and construction since they use the exact same materials. What I found interesting about North Face backpacks is how similar they are to each other. Some designs are very different, but what I was surprised to learn was that the North Face Recon and Borealis are way more similar than they are different. For example, both backpacks have small, fleece-lined pockets on the front. Both have the same front compartment with an organizer panel for things like pens, a phone, and other small items. They even have the same stash pockets in this compartment. And both the Recon and Borealis have the same 15-inch laptop compartment that is located in the back of the backpack. On the outside of the bags, you have a padded top handle, stretch water bottle pockets on the side, and on the back of each backpack, you can find a sternum strap and removable waist belt. Both the Recon and Borealis also feature North Face's Flex Vent suspension system and injection molded shoulder straps. So both backpacks feel the same when worn, because it's the same exact back panel and shoulder straps being used in both models. As you can see, both backpacks are incredibly similar. When it comes to storage, you are looking at the exact same pockets. So if you were wondering which backpack is better for school or daily carry, then the answer is both, because they're just not that different. The real difference between the Recon and Borealis are on the exterior. Each backpack has special carry features on the outside that are worth considering when choosing between the two. Let's start with the Borealis. This backpack is known for its elastic bungee system. It has these small tie-out loops with an elastic bungee cord running through them. You've probably seen this bungee system in a ton of different backpacks. What it's used for is attaching large and bulky items to the front of the backpack. It's great for quickly tying down a jacket or a sweater. But it's also great for oversized items. Let's say you're going to the beach. You can tie down your beach towel. And it can even work for longer items, like a yoga mat. This elastic bungee system is actually incredibly functional, and you can find a million ways to use it. Below the elastic bungee, you have a small lash tab, and that's for attaching something like a carabiner or bike light. Moving on to the North Face Recon, you have a completely different outside design. There is no elastic bungee system, and instead, what you have is this quick stash pocket. Although the pocket is extendable using the side compression straps, it really isn't that large. The pocket itself measures down to about 9.5 inches, and there is no way to strap anything down. Unlike the Borealis, oversized items aren't going to fit in here. If you have a light sweatshirt or jacket, it might fit. Smaller items like a bike lock or a small notebook will fit just fine. But it's definitely too small for a pair of shoes or a bike helmet. I find myself using the stash pocket when I'm too busy to open up a zipper and just need to put something away really quickly. So it is useful, it's just not very large. Another difference on the Recon is the inclusion of these daisy chains on the front of the stash pocket. These daisy chains are made for attaching external items. The newer versions of the men's North Face Borealis do include something similar, but the women's Borealis does not have any daisy chain attachments whatsoever. And just like the Borealis, the Recon also includes a small lash tab on the bottom of the bag. So that's it. Those are the differences between the North Face Recon and the North Face Borealis. Since both backpacks are so similar, it really comes down to the Recon stash pocket versus the Borealis elastic bungee system. The North Face Recon is also slightly larger at 30 liters. So if you need the extra space for books, binders, and clothes, then going with the larger backpack might be the better choice. I hope this comparison has helped you decide on which backpack is best for you. Links to where to purchase these backpacks are in the video description, so make sure to check those out. And for more backpack reviews and buying guides, make sure to check us out at backpackies.com. Thanks for watching.